much so. We actually tackled live to the ground, which normally you don't do on a bye week near the end or middle of your season, but it's just such an issue for us that we felt like that's something that has to be addressed until we become a better tackling defense. We're going to suffer. And we saw the results of that on Saturday. Guys in position, but couldn't get them on the ground. And when you run the quarterback, those are issues that your defense has to face. You can only have one guy free, and he's got to deliver. He's got to get him on the ground. So we're working on that.
Has it gotten progressively worse, or is it just those running quarterbacks exposing it?
You know, when you look at rushing statistics against us, the quarterbacks have been the most successful. Whether it's been scrambling and taking off, escaping the pocket, or designed runs where he's one-on-one with one of our defenders and we don't get him on the ground. So that's something that has to be addressed now and continue to talk about in the offseason.
Along with the tackling, what else did you
That's what I'm saying. What is the tackling?
Yeah. What else did you want to get out of this week from your guys?
Just fundamentals. Improving our fundamentals, and then obviously developing some of the younger players.
When was the last time you had a live practice?
Live tackling? Yeah, we just drilled it on our own on defense. Probably in camp at some point. But we need it.
Have you ever done it in November?
Not that I can recall. I'd really have to think hard to remember when we did that. But we need it, and that's our issue. So let's address it.
Obviously, physically, that's going to help them. But does that send a message mentally as well that look, it's not acceptable. We've got to get that changed?
I think it does. And I'll say this. From yesterday till today, the guys did a much better job. They were better with their fundamentals in terms of tackling and getting guys on the ground, and we just got to keep getting better.
When you talk about repping younger guys this week, is that in terms of just continuing their growth, or is it because you feel like you need to see something for these last 2 weeks?
No, primarily for their growth, and just to continue to evaluate them and see where their progress is. No depth chart changes or anything in regards to that, Paul. Just normal youth development.
Sorry, I came in late, but just differences in the run defense now versus we did through the season. It seemed to do a pretty solid job against Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. The quarterback running game is where we've really suffered. There were some things in the Missouri game where we had a short box a couple of times because they were throwing the ball, but other than that, it's been the quarterback, taking off and beating us with his feet.
Are there things that you see that are fixed? Only a couple games left.
Yeah, we got to fix our fundamentals and getting guys, to tackle. A lot of times, just find a way to get them on the ground. That's a big part of it.
After that Georgia match, was this something you thought y'all had kind of fixed at mid-season, the way y'all were playing through the year, and then it's just cropped up again, or has it been an issue going on the film?
It's been hit and miss. It's been inconsistent throughout the year. Even in games where statistically we have performed well, there was times when we missed tackles that we should have made.
We talk about fundamentals. Is missed tackles the chief culprit, or are there other things you're seeing?
Yeah, it's getting off a block and making a tackle. For us, it's tackling in space. When the defender is out in the open on the edge and there's space involved, that's you got to learn how to close space and put your chest on the tackle, wrap up, and get them down.
Do you think that's even more of an issue than just the speed situation, just with the speed that somebody goes to?
It's a combination of both. Speed in terms of closing space and getting there. Guys just putting their chest on the tackle and executing the proper fundamentals.
Against Auburn specifically, I think it was one of the TV announcers said it looked like the linebackers were just having a hard time picking up who had the ball. And I guess maybe that was a secondary as well. But is that something they did well as far as disguising?
There was no issues in terms of the linebackers finding out who had the ball. They executed. They did their job for the most part. There was a couple times here and there. There was. We maybe slid a little bit too far inside. Nothing, where you just said, man, that's awful. For the most part, we were on point. We just, when they run the quarterback, it's an equalizer, and we didn't tackle well, and he had obviously great athletic ability and speed, and we got exposed. And we have to live with it, but we also have a duty and an obligation to correct it, and that's our job as coaches, and that's what we intend on doing.
Is it tough when, I know as a coach you don't like to think this way, but the fixes aren't fixable this year? You know, in other words, that.
Yeah, you know, Evan, I'm never going. We got great kids, and we're not going to ever give up. We're going to keep pushing them. We're going to keep coaching them hard each and every single day. We expect them to get better, and whether it's this year, next year, 3 years from now, our expectations are going to stay the same, and we owe that to the seniors, and we owe that to the guys that have chosen to come to the University of Tennessee, and that's exactly what they're going to get from us. We're going to get our coaches' best each and every single day, each and every single week. So there is no cop-outs. There is no, hey, we're moving on and all that. We're committed to the University of Tennessee, this football program, and getting these guys better.
How much of a luxury is the second